So, you've booked your holiday to Iran and you're more than a little excited about the prospect of a week or two away from the daily grind. Well, keep the excitement levels up, but make sure you're well prepared with everything you need to know before you arrive in this beautiful country. Hello, my name is Moin and I'm a tour guide in Iran. If you're wondering how to prepare for a trip to Iran, here are my top tips and advice to get you started. Number 1, bring a lot of cash. The Iranian banking system is completely segregated from the rest of the world. This means that your debit or credit card will be completely useless. Try to figure out your usual budget when traveling and bring enough cash for your entire trip. You can also ask your guide to give you a ballpark figure for the costs. As it's hard to find Iranian currency outside of Iran, your best option is to bring either US dollars or euros, as these are the most widely accepted currencies for exchange. Also, try to bring fresh notes because some exchanges do not trade old notes. Number 2, don't be confused by the double currency, Tuman or Rial. The official currency of Iran is Rial. However, the Rial has so many zeros at the end of it that Iranians have come up with another way of referring to it, known as Tuman. Tuman is Rial divided by 10 and is more commonly used by locals. For example, 100,000 Rials is 10,000 Tumans. It sounds confusing for the first day, but you'll pick it up pretty quickly. Get used to asking the question Tuman or Rial, because if you don't, it could end up being a costly mistake. Number 3, don't drive if you don't have to. The traffic is terrible in Iran. It's not that Iranians are bad drivers, they just don't have any concept of space when driving, which is often as entertaining as it is scary. So I would suggest relying either on public transport or local drivers and rent a car only as the last resort. Number 4, take care when you cross the street. A pedestrian crossing means nothing to Iranians. When you're exploring Tehran, don't be surprised if you have plenty of frightening moments as you go to cross the street. What you need to do is simply start walking, steely-eyed and confident. Don't even think about any of the cars to stop. They most probably won't until you're already halfway across the road. It is best to wait for a local and join them on their risky journey to the other side. Number 5, be prepared for the squat toilet. An important tip you must know before traveling to Iran is that Iranians often use squat toilets. But don't worry, all hotels have a flush toilet and you can also find them at most cafes and restaurants. However, public toilets are usually squat toilets. It may feel strange and uncomfortable at first, but you get a hang of it soon enough. Learn about Tarof, a Persian art of etiquette. Tarof is the name for the Persian etiquette that puts the guest first. Hosts stuff the guests with food, people offer to pay for your meals, and even fresh juice shops refuse to take money. These kind offerings to guests are part of the culture, and they do not mean that they really mean it. The rule of thumb is that if somebody refuses your money or offers to pay for you 2 or 3 times, they genuinely mean it. Otherwise, it's Tarof. It's in our culture to offer, and you should reciprocate the gesture with gratitude, but insist on paying your fair share. The point is that Tarof is a hospitality trait, which normally happens between friends and family. So as a stranger, you might not happen to see many Tarofs. But if you make new friends along the way, you will certainly find yourself in some Tarof situations. For example, you may lose the Tarof battle over the bill in a restaurant, but always remember to return the favor the next time. Number 7, do not give a thumbs up. Don't send the wrong message. Unlike other places in the world, giving a thumbs up is considered very rude in Iran, especially for the older generation. Although young people are aware that thumbs up internationally means good or okay, it is better to show approval in some other way, such as a nod of a head or by facial expression. Number 8, don't blow your nose in public. Unlike other cultures, blowing your nose in public is considered gross in Iran, especially if you're in a restaurant or cafe. It is so disgusting for some people that they cannot eat anymore if they hear somebody blowing his nose loudly. So if you need to, it's better to go to the bathroom. Number 9, say goodbye to alcohol. If you are into traveling and getting drunk on the way, Iran is not the place for you. Emphatically, do not take any alcohol into the country and do not ask for it when you are there. It is officially banned in Iran, so you should forget about access to liquor shops and the selling of liquor in restaurants and cafes. You'll actually often see a beer on the menu, but it means non-alcoholic. Give it a try. But having no alcohol doesn't mean that you won't be able to party and have fun. If you attend a birthday party or other celebration, you will see how Iranians can entertain themselves without a drop of alcohol. Number 10, avoid PDAs. Considering the religious context of many cities in Iran, do not display your affection for your significant other in public. Of course, holding hands and a goodbye kiss on cheek or goodbye hugs are okay, but it's best to save further affection for private areas, especially in more religious cities such as Yazd and Qom. Number 11. The weekend is Friday. The Iranian calendar is a bit different from the rest of the world. The Persian week begins on Saturday and ends on Friday, with the Friday being the weekend. Some offices are also closed on Thursday, while others are open until Thursday noon. The shops are usually open from Saturday to Thursday and from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or even later. During summer, local shops and bazaars are closed from 2 to 5 p.m. in most cities. This is a good time for you to have a siesta and get ready for the evening excursion. Number 12. There are pros and cons to traveling during Ramadan. It is a good idea to consult the calendar before booking your trip to Iran. The month of Ramadan, when people fast from sunrise to sunset, may pose some inconveniences. Perhaps the biggest inconvenience is that there is no eating or drinking in public during the day. However, the hotel restaurants and cafes are accessible everywhere and ready for service. On the other hand, there are some pros in traveling to Iran during Ramadan. For example, there are fewer tourists, and that means that you get to experience the attractions at a slower pace with fewer people around. The prices are lower and there is a more vibrant nightlife as well. Parks are filled with picnickers, big cities are alive well into the night, and restaurants and cafes are open from evening to morning. So with a few changes to your daily plan, you will find that you can use Ramadan to your advantage. I hope you enjoyed my video. There are many more things you may want to know before traveling to Iran. If you are looking for more info on Iran's attractions, food, handicraft, festivities, visa application, etc., please have a look at my website, persiapassenger.com. Thanks for watching and have a great trip to Iran.